Hi guys, welcome back to another one of our videos by Daniel and John, and we've got a Discovery 2 TD5. It's a facelift headlight, and basically the self-leveling motor in it is not working at the moment, so we can't get to it from the back anywhere. These are all just for the bulbs, these twist caps. So we're taking the lens off the front. So the reason why we're making this video is we're just showing that you can actually remove the lens without putting this in an oven, because some people say you can put the whole light assembly in an oven for 5 minutes at 200 Celsius, but we're just going to heat this up. And because there's plastic tabs along here.
I will add, there's been a previous attempt by somebody. We haven't touched that area yet.
We haven't broken that off, and
that
bit's nothing to do with us as either.
So you just want on the low heat.
Low heat, just warm the plastic up and then just gently come it away.
Just do the thing. There you go. And it's literally all the way around. It's going to take a few minutes to do, but you get new lights, but they're so expensive, aren't they?
Yeah,
so
these are expensive.
Hundreds of pounds.
So if you have got these and you're trying to work out how to remove the lenses without breaking anything, to fix something inside, you can even if you've got condensation inside your lens, this is a fix for it as well.
Yeah.
Then we hope this video is helpful. We'll come back to you when we've got it off and show you where this motor actually is. Hi guys, welcome back to the second part of this video. So as you can see, we've removed the lens from the front. It just comes off. It's got a load of sealant in it and some clips. We have to clean this up. The most difficult parts to remove the lens you have to be more careful of is the top part and the side part, which is basically this here and there, because the plastic's a bit thin. As I say, we have used a hot air gun. There's a couple of bits where it has come out a little bit, so what we'll do is we'll just heat it back up and push it and it'll
So if I talk about the motor, so to access the motor, you need to undo those two bolts there.
Yeah.
And then what you need to do when
Should we show them where it goes on?
I will do in a minute.
Yeah.
You then need to pull this off, and it's quite tight in there. You would just pull it off like that, and that piece there fits in there, and that's why it's tight to pull off. Those two screws we were talking about, or bolts, go into there.
Show you that in case you're wondering what this looks like. So it's that. The thread sort of goes in there, and once you've undone them a bit, you just pull them off.
The bolts don't come all the way out, just to let you know. They don't come out the other end.
So that's what it looks like inside. Hopefully this is a good reference for you. We've removed all the halogen bulbs as well. That's the main plug.
That could just be seized up. Could be something stupid. I don't know.
So, but that's not. This motor at the moment is not working. We don't know why.
You can, if you want to see if they're working, you can visibly hear them.
Yeah, like they're like sort of sound.
Yeah.
Visibly, they're quite loud actually.
Yeah.
The driver's side is fine, but this one not so much.
We're going to plug it in. I don't expect it to work, but when I've got it plugged in, I'm going to squirt some silicone in there to see if it'll move it.
Might just be jammed up.
We could just take the Torx out. There's a couple of Torx there.
But the thing is, it looks like it's in good condition.
Yeah, there's no damp or anything in there.
So it's a bit of a mystery to why it's actually failed. Well, why it's not working at the moment. But it's all connected up properly.
Yeah.
It's just got them wires on it. Right, guys. There might be a third part to this video. We'll see.
Hopefully successful one.
Okay, so welcome back to part 3. So we bought this assembly to the car again, and we just want to see if the motor would work, but it doesn't. And this is the motor removed.
Fits in there.
So it fits in there with 2 Torx screws.
And the Torx size was, was it a 20? It was, wasn't it?
It's a 20.
Yeah.
And they're just hand tight.
Take the screws out.
2 little screws.
To open it up, you just put a screwdriver in and lever it there.
So it's got a series of tabs around it, no screws on that. We just want to trying to see if we can find anything that's broken or anything that's just sticking. I don't know. If we can, we might be able to fix it without replacing.
So there's a little circuit board that just goes in there, and clearly that's the motor there.
So it's got like a little DC motor that you'd find on a toy or something. So it might be that the motor's burnt out.
I can't see anything wrong with that.
That's the circuit board. But I don't think there's anything we can fix on that.
Sort of seized up a little bit, if I'm honest.
What we might do here is we might remove the gears, clean them up a bit, put it all back, because the only other thing is this motor's just, it could just be, it does look like it's a bit gunged up in there.
Yeah,
see
it does,
there?
doesn't it?
Because that's brass on the end of that motor, and that could just be literally all the problem is. So we'll give it a clean up. There is some grease in there already. That's what it looks like. That's what your
dealing with
headlight beveling motor looks like.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just curious what that bit is there, but we'll find out in a minute.
Which piece?
That bit looks like,
yeah, there looks like there's
a bit of plastic stuck in there.
Not sure what that actually is. That
could be the problem. Who knows?
Some sort of
lever or something.
Well, it's broken off there now, isn't it?
It's something, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to part 4.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to the fourth part. So we had a look inside this levelling motor, and the cogs and everything looked good. So then we decided to test the motor. The motor basically just sits in there like that. We used a couple of picks very carefully just to get it out.
Yeah.
We put a battery charger. So that's the only power source we've got.
It's 12 volt, yes.
On the terminals, it didn't move in the unit. We then took it out, we tried it. We thought maybe the gears were gunked up or something. It doesn't look like they are, just got grease on them. So then I moved the spindle. I tried to move the spindle, and the spindle was just rock solid.
Seized, wasn't it?
Just totally seized. I think that's just due to age and condensation getting in there and messing it up. So we used some contact cleaner. We sprayed it in the back.
Let me just show where we sprayed it, because this will save you loads of money. So we got one with those little straws on. So we sprayed it in those holes there.
And a load of rubbish came out when we sprayed it.
Did there. And it freed it up as smooth as anything. We're going to put a bit of dielectric grease on here, aren't we? Something.
I think we'll put something. We can't really get inside the motor,
but we can put some on round here.
I thought personally the motor had failed, but it actually hasn't. So let me power this up, and I'll carefully do this. So if you just film that exactly like that. I'm not sure which, just on the thing. So we're just going to basically. That's working. If you just keep it there, if I put it, so you've got 2 terminals, just to show you, like, there we go. As you can hear, that's working. Unplug that. So that motor is now working. So if you've got this problem, if you've got a problem with this thing not working, it's probably just the motor, just a load of crap inside it, basically. So what we'll probably do is we'll clean it up a bit more, put a bit more grease and stuff inside here, and verify it's all working, because it spins one way and goes the other way and stops. We'll put it back together, and hopefully that's that fixed, and that is the circuit board. Probably put a bit of contact clean on that. Looks a bit. It won't do too much more with it.
You can't see that well, but I don't know if you can zoom in on there. That is the model number. It's faded quite a bit, but. Yeah,
so that was the next thing we were going to do. That's the model number 33670.02 3CO264. So the next thing we were going to do is we were going to just try and source a replacement motor. But if this one's now working, then we can just refit it.
And that was an MOT failure.
That was an MOT failure. So we got
Unfortunately, that's another story, isn't it?
So yeah, another story we might put on the channel at some point. But we'll put all this back together, get it in the light, put it on the car, make sure we can hear it visibly working with the Twizzler in the dashboard, the levelling.
The other thing that I took out, just to make sure, if you're wondering where that's gone, is that it just screws in there.
Yeah, there's that, and that literally just screws in there.
I wasn't sure what it was for, but
it looks like you can take all those bits out, because obviously it has been assembled by somebody at some point.
I mean, this is what moves in and out when you're light. This comes in and out apparently, from what I've seen.
Yeah, and
adjusts it up and down, and clicks on there. But yeah. Okay,
so we'll get it all back together, and we'll probably might do a 5th part of this video. But I'm hoping this helps anybody that's got this problem. And just wondering what exactly it is, but this motor, this spindle was seized solid. I couldn't even move it with my fingers. I had to put a load of that stuff in and let it soak, and then it freed it up.
It is, I would say to anybody watching this, it is worth persevering this because they're difficult lights to get hold of.
Yeah, they are, these facelift ones.
New ones, you can get the new ones, they're just under £350 each.
Yeah, they're quite
so
pricey.
For a bit of time just taking this off and giving this a clean, pulling that motor out.
But important to note, they are the facelift lights. They're not the original square ones. The original square ones do have a totally different motor, and it's a real big thing. It's like double the size of that.
It's
so this
huge.
is the facelift lights.
Yeah.
Right.
So word of warning: if you see these motors advertised on eBay, say for Discovery 2, the facelift ones are buried inside little black things.
They're this little black
They're
thing.
tiddly.
And this video is a bit of a
I mean,
thing to what this stuff actually looks like, in case you're wondering.
these are, oops, let's do it that way, just so you know, they're about 60 centimetres long and 30 centimetres wide. So that might give you a clue if you're buying one. Couldn't find these anywhere else. Could find a lot of similar ones without the screw mounted screws.
So that's what John's saying, is you can find these motors, and they've got this like piece here, this plastic piece, but I've not been able to easily find one with these two screw holes.
The only thing we were thinking of, if that motor had gone, and it might just be helpful to you, you can get a very similar thing on Amazon without the securing lug hole, screw holes.
Yeah.
We were thinking perhaps we just buy the cheapest one and take the motor out and hopefully it fitted and pop it in this one. It's probably a standard motor, to be honest. That.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it.
So
Right.
yeah. Hi, welcome back. So we're back now talking about the light that we've taken apart on Discovery 2, and the reason we took it apart is because the motor had failed here, so we couldn't get another motor to match the exact one for a Discovery 2. So what we did, we ordered one from Amazon which looked very similar, and this was it here. And what we decided to do in the end was, you see these things here where the screws go in, there's one there and one there. These were positioned on there and there, so we cut those off, we positioned back loose, cut off, screwed them in. This replacement motor then we slid in, because it's the same apart from the securing lugs. Underneath we placed a 5mm space, that could be a piece of wood or aluminium. We used some
Weld quick epoxy
to hold it down, and then when that was set, we used some PlasticBonder between those lugs we'd cut off and
get a good shot of that.
secured it to the new motor.
Yeah. It's raised off the bottom slightly with my finger, see?
Yeah. What we also did was, I just need to reach across so you can see this. So it's important to get the motor in the right position, because although it was identical, it's a little bit shorter. So with the old motor back in, and with that like that, we did this. We put a ruler in, had it fairly level, and we made a white mark. So when we dropped the new motor in, we knew that was exactly the same
position
as that one, so it would fit.
And the reason why we needed to do that is because on the back of the lenses there's a thing
Needs to go in there.
the top bit goes into.
So we've just powered this up and it works absolutely
It's
fine.
working on the adjustment switch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So it was 20 something pound.
£24 I think from Amazon.
So it is doable and it does work. So
yeah, as John said, we had trouble getting hold of the exact motor with the screwable lugs either side. So we bought one that was very similar, that had this piece here, had the 3-pin little connector, and it was roughly the same size, and we just basically
it's the same connector and everything.
It.
We just, like I say, cut the lugs off with there, and you see it there.
And these are the facelift lights, and they're not that common now to get hold of, and they're about £400 to £500 new to buy, which which is a bit too much money really for us at the moment.
But,
To be buying that sort of stuff.
The other thing is, in reality, if you had your both motors go in the Discovery 2 over, say, 12-month period,
It'd be £800 plus to replace both.
you're talking £1,000 nearly to replace 2 lights, when
Yeah.
it's basically
Just a little motor.
it's a £24 component
Yeah.
off Amazon. So that was just so people know what the product code is. That was it there.
That was it. I'll put a link to it in the bottom in case you have the
Yes.
same issue. It's this one here. Maybe made by Febi Bilstein. Pretty much the same thing but without the parts either side.
Yeah.
We use Weld PlasticBonder
Let me just point.
for those bits to bond them on. And also Weld epoxy underneath. We did one bit at a time, didn't we? Just put one bit, positioned it, let it set, then did another.
Yeah.
We didn't rush it.
Yeah, and we left that sort of. It's been a couple of days since we've left it to go off. It's absolutely fine.
As solid as anything.
Anyway, I hope that helps people out. We make these videos to try and help people out,
Yeah.
and try and get some practical solutions to everyday things that you come across in our lives and others.
I will just before we finish the video, in the previous parts of this video, you did see us actually take this apart. It has a little motor inside. We did test the motor on like a 12-volt power supply, and whilst the motor did spin freely and you could hear it, when we did clean it up inside and we put it back into the old housing, it didn't seem to have enough power to actually.
As soon as it was under load, it didn't work.
Yeah, so under load it didn't work. So this is why we then purchased a new unit and modified it. So we hope that helps you. If you've got any questions, please ask below. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you.